to show that the square root of 180 minus 2 root 5 over 5 root 5 minus 5 can be written in the form a plus root 5 over b, where a and b are integers. And this question is worth 4 marks. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the square root of 180 in terms of root 5. So I'm going to say the square root of 180. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think of a square number that is a factor of 180. The first one I think of is 9 from 18. So we're going to say this equals the square root of 9 times 20. We're going to use here our third rule that if you have the square root of AB, this equals the square root of A times the square root of B. And what we're going to say is this equals the square root of 9 times the square root of 20. This equals 3 times the square root of 20. Now, in thinking of square root of 20, what is a square number that is a factor of 20? And the one I can think of is 4. So we can say that this is 3 times the square root of 4 times 5. Applying the same rule as here, we have 3 times the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Square root of 4 is 2, so this means we have 3 times 2 times the square root of 5, which equals 6 root 5. So from here, we have the above becoming 6 root 5 minus 2 root 5 all over 5 root 5 minus 5. This equals 4 root 5, because 6 root 5 minus 2 root 5 is 4 root 5, all over 5 root 5 minus 5 as such. Okay then. So, what we can do from here is we need to rationalize the denominator. And what that means is, if we have a fraction which is in the form a over b minus c, this equals a, b plus c, over b minus c, b plus c. So, this will equal 4 root 5 times 5 root 5 plus 5, all over 5 root 5 minus 5 times 5 root 5 plus 5. Next step is to expand our brackets, okay? For the numerator, 4 root 5 times 5 root 5 and 4 root 5 times 5. So we will have 4 times 5 is 20 times root 5, 20 times 5 is 100, so this is going to be 100. 4 root 5 times 5, 20 root 5, so plus 20 root 5, all over. This is a difference of two squares, and this rule says if you have b minus c, b plus c, this is going to be the same as b squared minus c squared. Okay, so we will have 5 root 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, 25 times 5 is 125. 5 times 5 is 25 minus 25, like that. And this means we have 100 plus 20 root 5 over 100. Now we're going to use another rule, and that says if we have a over b plus c, this equals a over b plus a over c. To split this fraction up into 100 over 100 plus 20 root 5 over 100. 100 over 100, this simplifies to 1 over 1, which equals 1. So this equals 1. 20 over 100, so 20 root 5, you've got this factor of 10 here. So you end up with 2 over 10, which is a fifth, times root 5. So we have plus root 5 over 5. Again, because they did tell us that the two integers are a and b, I am just going to write out what the two integers are. So I'm going to say, therefore, a equals 1 and b equals 5. Now, this question is worth 4 marks. The first mark comes from writing 180 as 6 root 5. The second mark comes from rationalizing the denominator as we have here. The third mark comes from expanding to get to here. And the fourth and final mark comes from getting the correct final answer.